Our fam, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody had a great day. We'll do a quick DR recap tonight. Really only one true DR move today, which we'll talk about on the NQ. There were a couple others if you were being aggressive, like not following just a pure DR play. You wanted to be a little more aggressive. We'll talk about that one in a second here. So let's see. Let's get to it. All right. Let's see. 45.70 and 45.50. So like 21 point range. So not bad. Well within our 16 to 20 plus range that we like to see. All right. And looking at our potential bias here, we had this move during when DR formation. So that kind of would have given me a little bit of pause. But one of the things that you notice is coming from, early in the morning, you kind of had this move right here, right? Kind of that just a nice downward move. So you can be a little more aggressive, or I'd have been a little more aggressive on that one, and even though taking into account that move, which would have said, okay, let me, be cautious and probably 50-50. But that longer move, I could probably be a little more confident in that. And so when I say be aggressive, if you look, we had looking at ICT concepts here, we had a fair value gap right here, a bearish fair value gap. And so you notice we came back on this candle even before, right at 10:30, and we retested that bearish fair value gap. And so opportunity there for me would have been at the bottom of that fair value gap. All right. And then just kind of watch that ride down. Really a good, that's a 10 pointer plus. Let's go 58 to let's say to 42. So is that 16? So yeah, that's a 16 pointer. So really a good move again if you're being aggressive on that candle right there that tested that fair value gap. Stop loss right above that. See, you got that 0.5 fib right there, and right above that was the top of that fair value gap. So relatively small risk to reward ratio there. Not knowing what the reward is going to be, but the risk was what's that, 58 to let's say 60, 61, 62. So that's what, 3 points roughly. So again, not bad for what you potentially can get off of that. All right, so that's the aggressive play. How I would look at the aggressive play. If we're looking at a kind of our standard DR play, our pure DR play, right? So here we have, oops, let me draw it a little better. All right, so we have our swing low here. Not swing low. Boy, I'm tired today. All right, we have our DR low right here. And so we actually end up confirming low on that candle. And now this is where patience come in, right? Because let me, if we look at this, all right, so we're talking 10:30, and we didn't really we had to wait an hour before we actually retraced, right? So we waited, about 10 minutes before we confirmed, right? Because we confirmed on this candle right here. But then it took, you had to go through all this to get back to where, we actually retraced above the DR low. Now, what I put in one of my groups was, we were down here, either here or here, and I said, okay, we got to get back to 45.51 to retest DR. Would prefer 45.54 because that's where the IDR is. That gets you a little more confidence, especially with this big down move here. But we didn't get that, right? And so what I did was I set an alert. I set an alert here on the DR low. Okay, so alert set here. I also set another alert on the IDR low, just in case. DR low alert went off, and notice something else here, right? It went up into this bearish fair value gap again, right? So pull an ICT concept out. All right, so it came back down. I did not get in exactly at DR low. I was a little bit below that because when my alert went off, it went up and it came down really quickly. So I just jumped in here because I still respected the play. And so this ended up being, so what I ended up doing was once you got below 5 points, which was my standard, right? Standard kind of take profit. Once we got toward that, I moved my take profit down to 15 points, right? I moved my stop loss into profit at 5 points. And then once it started getting down here, I actually had to go to lunch for a colleague. And so I did what I call my set and forget move, right? So I moved my stop loss in profit down to 7 points, and I still had my take profit at 15 points, which is somewhere in here. And so it was like either I'm gonna get 7 points or I'm gonna get 15 points. Either way, I'm good, right? And so and kind of shut the chart down and went to lunch and had a nice lunch, and then came back and I looked at it again. I had gotten the 15 points. We had stopped just barely at 15, and so right on this candle over here. I'm assuming that's where it was. That's what the price target was, and so that was to me that was the only really pure play DR trade for today. All right. Rest of the day, what you could see, and if you guys were kind of sitting through it waiting, there wasn't anything else here really for me to get excited about. We knew this was going to be a down day because if you look, right, see all these, we took out in the morning, we took out 3 sell sides. And these were not like just intraday sell sides. This the top one was a daily sell side. So we took that out even before the market, before we set up DR, right? So that one was gone. Then we came and took out this one at 45.53 or 45.54. That was a weekly sell side, right? So that one was from a couple weeks ago. So that one's gone. And then so we took out the next one, another daily sell side, right around 10:30. So that one's now gone. Okay, I said, man, they're not playing around today. You see, I still have an alert set here, right? I was waiting for something to come back, go back up to that after I made my trade. So let me get rid of that alert so it makes the chart a little cleaner. All right, but yeah, so I had the alert sitting on there. And then, toward the end of the day, right at 3:30, I wasn't trading anymore at that point. But right at 3:30, so we came down and took out another weekly sell side. All right, so we did a lot of damage today. I think and that was, I think, the June 14th sell side. So I think we've pretty much, if you look back, we've wiped out all those gains that we had from way back. Won't let me get there. Let me see. Let me change this to, let's go to a daily here just to see what it looks like. All right, let's figure this out real quick. So yeah, so back on the 17th of June, we were right here. All right. So we were at 45, what that, 45.30, something like that. And we went all the way up to 46, 46.35. So what's that, 70 points? No, we went to 30, went from 40, hold on guys. Let me do my math right. So 32, so we went 100 points up. Yeah, so we just wiped out 100 points in like 2 days. All right, so roughly 100 points, a little less than that, but yeah, that's a pretty big drop here. All right, so all this action we just had for the last 3 weeks, we're right back at ground zero basically. All right, so that kind of tells you what the market can do in a very quick amount of time. All right, so anyway, so that's the story. My next weekly, let me pull up a weekly. So looking at this now, and now have a new weekly low we might take out, but it's on top of a bullish fair value gap. My next weekly low is way down here at 44.11. So we have some, we can do some damage there. So we just run up. If they decide they want to keep moving it down, that'll be where I think we'd be heading if we really crash things potentially. Now, a lot of that where people are saying that's because of the credit rating for the U.S. is downgraded from AAA to AA plus for the first time, kind of like ever. So that had an impact on the market. I know we have some additional economic indicators going on this week, but so we'll see what happens. And so we'll see. You keep your head on a swivel. You make sure you're figuring out what the market's doing for the way your strategy works, not anybody else's. Because if you were playing for a reversal today, you probably would have been, unless you were scalping, your feelings would have been hurt, right? So, I and a lot of people say I do this wrong, or I'm not doing it the way like I should be doing it, but I play the market day by day in when I'm trading, right? I'm not doing swings, so to speak. I'm either scalping or I'm doing, set plays and that works for me, right? And so, make sure you understand what works for you, because that's the stuff that's what's going to make you profitable. All right. So anyway, so that's it. Try to make this quick, but did want to point out, like, we've lost a lot of gains. We're down 100 points again, or from our last time we were at that level. So we'll see what happens overnight and into tomorrow. All right. Hug your loved ones. You never know when you won't be able to do it again. Definitely take advantage of the opportunity. Prayers out to a good friend of mine, whose mother is now on hospice, and praying for her and his entire family as they go through that process. It's almost been a year since I lost my dad, and so I completely understand, and nothing but prayers for you, brother. All right. God bless y'all, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Later.